Hey everybody, welcome to Guangzhou, China. That's right, we're in the southern part of China. I don't get down here too often. Glad to be here. This is my little budget hotel room. We're gonna get out and do some exploring, and I'm gonna show you guys the real Guangzhou. Before we get into it, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel because I will have a lot more travel videos on the way. Thanks for your support. Let's get on with the tour. Well, if you all follow the channel, you know that when I go to a new Chinese city, I always start at the pedestrian street and I kind of get my bearings from there. So we are walking to Beijing Street or Beijing Loop. It's a well-known pedestrian street here in Guangzhou. We're gonna start from there, but there's a whole lot more to see as well. Well, coming from the north, I live way up north in China and it's cold, it's winter up there. And then just coming down here to Guangzhou and seeing people hanging out on the street, wearing short sleeves, the hustle and bustle, it's such a nice getaway. And I really like the vibes down here. It's got that Chinese energy. And some of you all know what I'm talking about. Just shops everywhere you look, people out and about. Okay, first destination, check. We've got the K Coffee. And this turns right into Beijing Pedestrian Street. You get up here to basically an intersection, and this is it. And I like how they've preserved a lot of the old architecture and old buildings up here. A lot of parts of China have been tearing that stuff down, which is really unfortunate, but it looks like Guangdong's gonna have a lot, and I'm very excited to see it. And I can already tell you, this this walking street, this pedestrian street, that's something you don't wanna see. This pedestrian street is a pretty good one. It's big, it's got a lot of people, it's got these really old trees. Every kind of shop you could possibly want. If you need money, you got a bank, Vietnamese restaurant. I mean, anything you want, you'll be able to find here. And you can see why I suggest starting at a pedestrian street when you go to a new city in China, because, I mean, look, there's so much here, and if you want to find a place that's going to be easy to meet somebody or talk to some locals, it doesn't get much better than this. And more than that, it's fun to hang out on pedestrian streets. It's always a good atmosphere and it's just fun. There's always a ton of different restaurants, ton of different foods. You've got actual restaurants, you've got street foods, snacks. Okay, so let's look at some foods over here. You've got different parts of beef. At first I thought that was Oden, but it's actually not. And here are tons of, it's like a bakery, fruit tea. This is just one little corner here on Beijing Street, Beijing Pedestrian Street. And over here you've got all these little fruit skewers covered in a hard candy, fresh coconuts. Oh, that looks real. I'll probably have to get one of those. I love coconut. Then you pass that up, and a wide variety of skewers. Chicken, fish balls, tofu, sausage, squid, beef, corn, meatballs. And you just keep walking. There's people just enjoying it here on the street. Look at that, that is massive. If you're a seafood lover, I think you'd be in seafood heaven right here. Some long hair. I have been approached by several people trying to sell me many different things. One guy was trying to sell me like fake jackets and fake jeans. I guess just like knockoffs. One guy was trying to sell me fake name brand purses. I was like, no thanks, man. I was like, if there's one thing I'm not really interested in buying, it's a purse. But I've talked to a lot of locals here. Everybody's been really friendly and good vibes here. And oh my gosh, the weather is so nice. It makes me not want to go back up to the north. It's frigid up there, it's winter. You gotta wear a coat and gloves and a scarf. Down here, look at that t-shirt and shorts. This area is obviously a shopping area and just an area to hang out. If you wanted to do some serious shopping, you could do it here. But if you just wanted to look for little knickknacks and try different local snacks and everything. And then beyond that, there's also like upscale, nice dining over here too. So you just come to this one spot and there's so much to do. Well, this is pretty amazing. I didn't expect this. Just walking down the street, right? And then right here in the middle, I saw some people over here. I was like, what are they looking at? Well, the entrance floor of the Ming Gate. That goes back apparently 1368 to 1644 AD. Didn't expect to see all this right here. It's like getting a free museum right here on the street. This is the pedestal of the Southern Song Gate. Not surprisingly and very uninterestingly, there's a Starbucks here, and I'm sure y'all couldn't care less. But the reason I'm showing that is because, you see, I've got a 7-Eleven coffee, right? Which I prefer more over Starbucks, to be honest, and the price is way better. But the reason I'm showing you that is because China is typically not thought of as a coffee drinking country. And if you go to Korea or you go to Japan, you can get coffee everywhere. But a lot of people think that, and rightfully so, that China is a tea drinking country. But an interesting thing that's happening right now in China is that coffee is breaking out. Cafes are popping up everywhere. And if you're here, you'll still have a lot of people that will tell you, oh, we Chinese, we don't like coffee, we prefer tea. But more and more people are drinking coffee. So anywhere you go in China now, you can pretty much get some decent coffee. And then over here in the same area, you've got this huge, really cool looking Buddhist temple. I didn't do a ton of research before coming here, so I'm not like looking for these spots. I just know some general areas that seem like they would be cool to hang out. And I just like to kind of wander around and see what I see. Not big on tourist traps, but just stumbled upon this, and I mean, what can you say? It's not something you see every day. Totally amazing. Huge Buddhist temple. You got people doing their prayers everywhere. What a cool place. And this is just kind of a little hideaway from the concrete jungle, which is just out beyond these gates. So as you walk out here, it's the wild, wild west of people trying to sell you stuff. I've had at least 10 people come up and try to sell me fake watches and fake clothes. They're nice. I mean, they're nice guys. They're just trying to make a little money. They always come up with a smile and a really hard to understand accent. Hey, my friend. You want to buy a watch? You want to buy a shirt? How about some sunglasses? And when we're talking about fakes, I got to show you. I mean, look at this. This is supposed to be New Balance. It's new Nuo Balun. I don't think they realized they put the word new in there twice, you know, because the Nuo is supposed to represent new. So that says new Balun. Well, we're just about done with Beijing Lu, but I did want to take a closer look at these trees. I've seen these kind of trees in different parts of Asia. I've seen these in Japan. I've seen these in China. It's something you can find, but they've got these really, really old trees that just look insane. It's growing some hair out. It's getting a little shaggy. Now this is different. I've seen a lot, but this is different. Chinchilla Eden. I guess chinchillas are a thing down here now. I actually had a chinchilla when I was a little kid. Take a quick look. Oh, chinchilla there. Wow. Like I said earlier, I'm not really here to hit the tourist attractions and tourist traps. The main thing I'm enjoying down here is the nice weather, because where I live, it's winter, it's super cold, it's freezing, and I'm just loving this weather, and I just want to be out amongst the locals, see what they're up to, see how they're living, talk to them. And here we are at a park, and I've heard this place is I've heard it's a nice park. It's called the Yuexiu Park. And we're gonna go check it out. And we're down here in the deep south of China, so the foliage out here is totally different, and I like it. It's just lush and green, and you've got like palm trees or palm looking trees. And this is in the winter, and this is how it looks. I would say this is probably the best time of year to come out here, because it would get really hot in the summer, but this is one hellacious park. I mean, this is massive. I don't have enough hours of sunlight to really check this place out. Time is passing me by. That didn't take long. I was kind of wanting to get away from everybody and just be around nature, and I took one turn up the stairs and there's not a person in sight. Guess I just lucked out. When you're in Guangzhou City, it's not exactly that easy to find a place where you don't see any people. I'll have to check on Google to see how many millions of people live in this city, but it's many, many millions. It's one of the biggest cities in China. Back a long time ago when I traveled through Southeast Asia, one of the things that really just took my breath away was the greenery, the foliage. the lush green nature, because it was just breathtaking. And you know, I'm down here in Guangzhou. It's, like I said, it's the far south of China, so there is definitely that kind of borderline subtropic climate zone. There we go, we got some bamboo for you. I was just walking up that hill in the park, kind of up that small mountain, and then I came over here and didn't expect to catch this view. You can see some of the city line, and you've got a stadium here. Oh, we made it to the top. I just got to an area here in Guangzhou that's well known for a lot of Africans being in this area. It's called Xiaobei. And I'm just gonna take a little tour and experience it. And this is quite unique because in China, this is the highest concentration of Africans living in China. And in years past, there were a lot more. A lot of them have left, but there are still many. So here is a very unique area because you've got a lot of Chinese locals living with Africans, living amongst each other. So it's quite a unique situation. I'm really curious. And you'll only really find that here, in this city, in this district. That's a rough looking foot massage. African wax cloth. So that's what that's called. I've seen that kind of pattern before. I didn't know that's called a wax cloth. And then over here, you've got a Xinjiang restaurant. And I would love to eat there. This is by far the most diverse place I've seen in China, period. Just came to a Xinjiang restaurant, and they've got these, they call them mutton steamed buns, but they're kaobaozi, so that would be like grilled meat-filled dumplings. But it's definitely unique compared to the usual baozi in China. And I bought a couple, can't wait to try it. Hey, it's really good when you bite into it. It's got that kind of minced mutton with onion, and it's got that kind of thin bread wrapping. Really, really nice. Guys in there working the meat, working the mutton. Look at the design on his shirt. Wonder if the locals know what that is. Well, I don't envy that guy, that's for sure. I do not envy that guy or any of these. Wow. Insanity. A huge Muslim presence in this area from all different regions. I mean, you've got the Muslims from Africa, and you've got the Muslims from Gansu region of China, you've got the Muslims from Xinjiang, China. A lot of like fabrics with, you know, patterned fabrics. What'd that one sign say? Wax cloths? They wouldn't be selling it if there wasn't a huge market for it. Damn! We got a hair weave shop over here. Get those braids done, girl.
I actually have a separate video that takes an in-depth look at this entire area. If you'd like to check that video out, please just
really
find the link to it in the video description below.
I have no idea what's back there. I mean, there's a sex shop, but I think I'll pass on that. And there's a lot of little businesses back here. Got a lottery shop here. Some kind of Chinese medicine, maybe traditional Chinese massage, liquor and snacks. Restaurant, I guess you could call it that. Let's go this way, why not, right? I think this takes me back out to the main road. I've got my eyes on another little secret alleyway. This is narrow. It's just about as narrow as a sidewalk. But look, there must be 1,000 businesses back here. This is wild. There's something spicy cooking. It's got me coughing. and on. This is awesome. There's a certain smell that's associated with a lot of southern Chinese cooking. It's not a good smell, actually. It's a type of bamboo, I believe. I love bamboo, but there's a type that's used in southern cooking that puts off a very distinctive scent. And back here, a lot of places have that smell. It's the smell of cooking. It's not a stinky smell, but it's from that ingredient. I think it's a special type of bamboo. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Another restaurant. Now we're coming to the end. I didn't want this to end. I was enjoying this. Just thought it would go on forever. Little convenience shop. And here we are on the other side. Back to the open world. This is pretty interesting. You've got the street and you've got this creek running through. Goes over here. Here's an evening view of Guangzhou. We're in an area called Liwan District. And I was talking to a local guy I met, and I was asking him where I should eat. What's the true Guangzhou food? Like, where is a restaurant that sells authentic Yuecai or Guangzhou cuisine or Guangdong cuisine? And this little place right here is what he told me. A very small place. And so I took a nice, pretty lengthy taxi ride to get out here. But this is a local guy who was telling me this. A young, local, well-educated guy. Very friendly and polite. And I told him what I was looking for. Nothing fancy. I want the real thing, you know? So this is it. And I already like it, you know? The table's outside. It's a nice, cool night. Not cold at all. Feels great. And just hang out with the locals and eat the true local cuisine. Actually, the lady recommended I eat inside, which I think I'll do, and I'll just give you a quick look. Like, the inside area is super small. And I'll just sit here. I'm not gonna eat my full dinner here. I'm just gonna try a few different dishes, and then after that, I want to leave a little room because I'll be out tonight, and I want to leave some room for some other snacks and local foods. Got a little kitchen here. That's awesome. So this here is the menu. It's just on the window and wall, and I don't really know what a lot of these dishes are. But that's okay. I'm willing to try. But there are some things I'm not that interested in. Some of the more stranger kind of seafood things I'm not that big on. The restaurant's just over there. And then if you look down this little alley, it's kind of cool. Now the first dish is here. And this took forever to make because this place, I mean, if you look, they had customers in here. They got all these tables out here. They've got that one tiny kitchen with one old man cooking. And I was talking to some of the workers here, and this place apparently is well known amongst locals. It's a place you'd never find just on your own. So it took forever because it's one guy doing all the work. But I don't care about that. I'm just here for the experience. So I've got 3 different things. There's no way I can eat it all. This is these are rib. I don't know what you'd call these, riblets or rib. Anyway, it's pork ribs chopped up into small pieces and fried in a wok. So we'll see how it tastes. But when I ordered this and another dish, which is on the way, a vegetable, I asked them for a bowl of rice. Now here they actually don't sell rice. So what the locals eat instead of rice is this type of rice noodle. So this is like a stir-fried rice noodle with sliced beef and some other stuff in it. So that's a pretty interesting difference. I mean, usually in a Chinese restaurant, rice is the go-to thing, but this is something new for me. Maybe it's common for people in the South, but for me, I haven't spent a whole lot of time in the southern areas of China. To be honest with you, I probably couldn't have even just finished this one dish, but I ended up with all of this. I didn't realize the servings were so big, and I told them from the beginning, I said, there's no way I can eat all this, and I can't take it with me because I'm going out, and this stuff won't keep. But I've got this vegetable. This is a vegetable I really like. I've had it so many times in China. I don't even know the English name. I'll look it up on Google. In Chinese, it translates as empty heart vegetable. If you look at that stalk of it, it's hollow. That's why they call it that. It's like a straw. This is fried, so there's oil. This is stir fried in a wok, so there's oil. So there is a lot of oil in it. I would need to eat this more in moderation because too much oil, gets you feeling kind of yucky. But Well, here I am. I find myself after dinner walking down a very dark alleyway. Don't know what's at the end. Don't really care. Just like getting out and exploring. Feel bad I wasted so much food. And I will tell you one thing, the food down here is noticeably more expensive than up north. I would say that what I had tonight would have cost roughly half that if I was in the north. But it's no big deal. Just had to try it, you know, got to try the local food while you're here. And the problem is, if you want to try a few different dishes, well, the servings here are pretty big. So you have to buy like 3 big dishes if you want to try different things. And of course, you can't eat all of it. Okay, well, here's this. I have no idea how this would look in the daytime. I can't even imagine, but at night, it's awesome. This is sort of the image I had before I ever came to China of what it would be like, you know, just these little like small alleyways. Now that is a surprise to me because Max Value is a supermarket in Japan. I had no idea that they would be in China as well. We've made it to the Party Pier. And what a nice night view. The skyline is beautiful. And this is a huge party area, as the name would suggest. I'm not looking to party too hard tonight. Nothing crazy, but I just, you know, gotta check this place out. It's been recommended as a fun place, or at least an interesting place, and a place where you might be able to meet people from all over the globe. I imagine back in the day it was definitely like that. Nowadays, we'll see if it's still like that, because I know the expat community in China is not what it once was. I'm definitely not a party animal kind of guy. I'm not really a club goer. I hate dancing. I don't feel like drinking a lot tonight. But we're at least gonna check it out. And part of the reasons for this video, for you guys. I just walked up here to the 2nd level. Just mainly to get a view of the river and see what's going on up here. I can already tell you, I'm not a huge fan of this place. It's not my kind of scene. I mean, you could definitely have some good times here, but for me, this is not really what I'm interested in. There's clubs here, you know, dance clubs and a bunch of these little bars. I mean, the view is amazing. Don't get me wrong, if you were maybe on a date or something, this would be cool. Or with some buddies, you want to go out and have a party. Now, there's a place I've actually heard of. I'm familiar with it. They've got a pretty decent menu. They've got all the drinks you could want. Like I said, I didn't know what to expect coming here. This is the kind of place where, like I said, if you're with a group or if you're ready for a serious night out, you know, if you're looking to go out clubbing and do some serious drinking. Well, I've circled back. I'm back here at Beijing Lu, Beijing Pedestrian Street, because I really enjoyed this place today and I wanted to see how it looked at night. I figured it would really light up and have a completely different atmosphere. And it does. It's almost unrecognizable. Man, this China sports lottery is popping off. Everybody's over here looking for that lucky ticket. Look at that. Can just feel the disappointment after another losing scratch-off ticket. One other reason I wanted to come back, I had to get one of these coconuts that I saw earlier. They look so good. So we're gonna get one. It's my dessert for tonight. This place actually takes the meat out of the coconut shell. That's one way they sell it. I've never seen that done before. That's pretty interesting. I didn't even know that you could do that. Look at that. Yeah, what it really looks like is just a frozen coconut water blended up into like a smoothie type of thing. Yeah, I can tell that's exactly what it is. It's just like it's just coconut water and some of the coconut meat like frozen and blended up into like a coconut smoothie. Purely natural. I wanted an authentic Guangdong breakfast, and a gentleman yesterday, a local guy, recommended me to a very common, normal blue-collar restaurant. And so this morning I came, and look where I am. This is not an ordinary restaurant, and this is actually not what I was looking for, but I'm gonna try it anyway because, well, first of all, I'm here, and you know, it's definitely gonna be somewhat high dining, sort of upscale, but it's breakfast. It's not gonna be that bad. This is also an aspect of the culinary culture here, so it's worth checking out. And at the very least, it is going to be kind of like, it's going to be upscale Guangdong cuisine. So let's check it out. But I'll tell you, that taxi driver was pretty dishonest, because he told me he was recommending me. I told him I wanted a place that's just simple and ordinary. And he said, yeah, this is just a normal place where your average people go, and, you know, it's cheap. And he said it's nothing too fancy. Most Chinese restaurants do not look like this. I mean, there's a lot that do, but this is definitely more of an upscale place. So that guy, I have to be honest, that taxi driver, as nice as he was, he sort of hoodwinked me. So this is interesting. What they did is they brought me back, since I'm a lone straggler, they brought me back here and put me at a table with my new friend. And yeah, we're back here in the corner. So obviously, the main thing that the south of China, especially Guangdong and Cantonese cuisine, is well known for is dim sum. And basically it's just little savory dumplings. And so these are a shrimp filling. This is some sort of rice made thing. I really have no idea. It might be some kind of fruit on there. Well, these little shrimp dumplings are good. So good, in fact, that they're already gone. And down here, they don't dip it in anything. They just eat it directly. And I was right, these are, they're sweet. So it's kind of like it's called niangao. If you're familiar with Korean food, you know they have those like rice cakes and stuff. It's think something similar to that. That's what it is. And then some sort of gelatin or sticky substance that's got to have some sort of fruit or something, because it's mildly sweet. So that's a good sticky dessert. I've got one more thing on the way. Now here's one I know there's no possible way I can eat this. I'll be lucky if I can even eat half. I did not realize it would be this big. Usually the things they serve up here or down here are going to be like small, like 4 pieces. Of course, this is 8. But what this is, it's a type of wrap made from red rice or rice that's been colored red somehow. It's got like a tempura kind of breading. And what it is, it's fried shrimp in the middle. It's breaded and fried, and then it's wrapped up in this red wrap and then sliced, and you've got some chili pepper and soy sauce to dip it in. I've never had it, but it's a well-known local food. Just tried my first piece, and although I know I'm gonna have to waste some of it, I'm really glad I bought this. It's very, very tasty. Nice crispy fried shrimp in there, and don't let the red fool you. There's nothing sweet about this. And then with the spicy chili pepper sauce and the soy sauce, it's just really, really nice. And with this huge restaurant dining hall, look what's on TV. What would you expect? Chinese basketball. Just a dreary Guangzhou morning. Here in Guangzhou, you've got a lot of modern buildings and skyscrapers, but I'm glad they still have these remnants of these old buildings, which I really like. Because, I mean, look at all these skyscrapers around here, but I think these old buildings look cool. It adds character to it. I'm about to embark on our first subway experience here in Guangzhou. Got a bunch of shops down here, 7-Eleven. Zhou Heiya, that's a type of place that sells, their specialty is duck neck. Sounds appealing, right? I couldn't have asked for better timing. This is exactly the one I needed, and it didn't even have to wait a second. It was ready to roll. We're here at the Guangzhou East Station right now. Here it is, y'all. The train to Hong Kong. We'll be there in about 2 hours or so, roughly. I expect a comfortable and smooth ride.
If you were curious to see a little bit more about my 2-day trip to Hong Kong, well, I released a couple of videos about the trip. You can find links to those videos in the description below.
Well, we're back in the mainland now, and we're taking a night train. This is one on the subway in the evening, late evening. And look how crowded it is. I could barely get on. I had to basically, some people weren't even trying to get on. They were just waiting for the next one, but I want to get back. I'm on limited time here. But yeah, this is the subway here in Guangzhou after 9 p.m. As you can see, the evening subway really cleared out. And what I'm doing, because I've got an early flight tomorrow, so what I'm doing, I'm taking this. We went from Guangzhou East Railway Station, and I'm just taking this as close as I can to the airport, because I've got a hotel over here, and that way tomorrow morning things will be short and sweet, easy. I'll be right there in the local area. One of the cool things about being in the south is there weren't any taxis over there at the station, so just hopped on board with my brother here, and because there wasn't going to be any taxis going where I was. So luckily this guy was here, and I'm rolling with him for the same price as a taxi, and a lot more fun. Well, I've got to admit, I'm pleasantly surprised with my hotel. This room is about 16 bucks a night. Big. They did give me a free upgrade, to be fair, but it would have been just one bed, but they gave me two, which I don't need. But it's a huge room. Like I said, about $16 a night. Not bad at all. I needed food. This looks like it's going to be the last meal of my little expedition to the south, my little journey to the south. If you watched my recent Japan videos, I ate a beef bowl, a cheesy beef bowl, at a place called Sukiya, and this is a Sukiya. That's the same place. They have locations here in southern China. They don't have those where I live in the north. So even though this is Japanese, I'm still happy to get this. My delivery options were limited, and you know, like I said, I can't get this in the region of China where I am. So this is a pleasant treat. So bon appetit, everybody. Well, it's about 4:40 a.m. and let's just say I'm feeling a little bit sleepy. See, yesterday when I missed that train, which I'll take full responsibility for, I had no idea it would take that long, but I learned the hard way. Well, instead of getting to my hotel in Guangzhou at about 8 p.m., I end up getting there after 10 p.m. and I have a very early flight this morning, so that means by the time I got there, got a bite to eat, it was almost midnight by the time I actually got to sleep. And I was up this morning at 3:45 a.m. So, and I didn't have a good sleep in the meantime. So I'm probably running off of about 2 hours. We're on the airport shuttle right now, and my last night in Hong Kong, I didn't have a good sleep either because it was just noisy, and so I only got about 3 or 4 hours that night, and then about 2 hours last night. So in 2 days combined, I've gotten about maybe 6 hours of sleep. But I'll probably crash out on the airplane, and obviously there's always tonight. I'm planning to sleep like a rock if possible. But yeah, early morning shuttle to the airport. Here we is, my friends. Here we is. The airport. I'm not a morning person. I'll be honest, it wasn't that hard getting up. It wasn't any big deal, but you know, once I'm actually up, I kind of like the morning because it's, I don't know, there's just a certain feeling about it, but I know my body is just craving some sleep. This is the Baiyun, which means white cloud. It's also a district in Guangzhou, airport here in Guangzhou. Welcome to the madness, guys. One travel reminder, if you're in China, and I broke my own rule this morning, I was just half asleep. If you are in a situation where you've got choices and you see that in front of you is a group of 2, 3 or more elderly people, try to go to a different lane or area, because they almost always do stuff that will piss you off. Like these ladies, they're here, there were a few, but they keep adding on to their group. They're saying, oh, we're together, but they keep trying to switch to different lanes where they think they can go faster. And then when it fails, they keep coming back, and it's a never-ending line of annoyingness. So, and this is coming from a guy who, you know, I respect my elders. I always get along very well with old folks, but when you're here, it's a little bit of a different story. You know, a lot of times there's just a real lack of consideration. So that's just a pro tip for you all. So being behind that group of mainly old ladies, which usually old ladies are sweet and stuff, but And some of them are in China too, but to be honest, a lot of them aren't. A lot of them, it kind of threw me for a loop because I'm used to being around, like, when I see elderly women, they're usually really sweet and nice, you know. But here, they'll do stuff like push in line, and like, literally not that long ago, I was trying to get on the train and I had an elderly woman elbow me in the kidney. And I mean, she got me pretty good. And then these ladies get up there, and just now that was like the old lady army right there. And they took so long, they made so much noise, they were such a hassle to the workers, to everybody around. They pissed off everybody in the vicinity. And like I said, I broke my own rule, because usually when I see that kind of situation, I step to another lane or I get out of the way. But today, like I said, I'm running on fumes right now, and I just didn't notice it. And boy, was it a stark reminder. Well, this is it for southern China. Heading back up to the cold and frigid north. Time to fly, baby. Say, I've never been on a plane that's this hot. It's literally almost like a sauna in here. I have no idea why. We're making a little pit stop here in central China, and I've seen something interesting. They got these nap hubs. So there you go. Before boarding the plane, come and take a rest. So I guess you get in this little capsule, and it's pretty damn small. And unsurprisingly, all of them are unoccupied. I can't really see Chinese people being a fan of those things. Actually, I can't really see humans in general being a fan of those things. Oh, and I didn't see it earlier. The sunlight's kind of washing out the screen here, so it's 35 yuan for half an hour. So that's like roughly $6 for half an hour. If you're claustrophobic, I don't know if that would be the right move for you. As with everything, all good things must come to an end, and so it is too with this video. But for anybody who stuck with me through until the very end, I want to give you a shout out, give you a big thank you. I genuinely hope that you've enjoyed the video. I try to make these travels and experiences as authentic as possible for you guys. Also, if you did like this, there's going to be a whole lot more coming in the future. I'm expecting 2024 to be a really big year. I've got a lot of plans. So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also, please do give this video a thumbs up. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but just doing that really does help with YouTube's mysterious algorithm. In a nutshell, the more people that like and interact with this video, the further its reach can be, and the more people will be exposed to it, the more people the algorithm will recommend it to. So yeah, thumbs up, a comment, greatly appreciated, guys. And we will catch you all in the next video. 下次再见。